everybody, my name is Jessie and I do perfume reviews in ASMR format. So if you like perfume and also if you like ASMR, you are in a good place for our video today. Alright, so today I'm doing a review of Dolce & Gabbana Q. And this is marketed for women. I believe the male version is called K for as in king, whereas this is Q as in queen. And as you can see, there's a fun queen type hat. So it's a very kind of regal, fancy bottle. Red and gold, and as you can see, the liquid is also red, a light red. This does have a cherry note in it, so I think that's probably the main reason why it's the red color. But I will say it's a very light, airy cherry, and I'll get into that more. But yeah, so I've got the little 30 ml of this size, and yeah, I'm just going to be spraying and reviewing this fragrance today. I tried to dress on theme. I wore this, what do you call this type of shirt? Like I don't know what you call this, like an undershirt, like a waffle shirt. Somebody tell me in the comments if you know. Like they're almost like long john looking. I don't know what I'm saying. But anyway, it has like little berries on it. I don't know if they're cherries, but I thought it was good for today because it's not really, like I said, it's not like a deep red cherry. It's like a lighter cherry. Fun fact about this shirt, this is the oldest shirt that I still own. I have had this shirt since I think I was like 14 or something, either middle or high school. So yeah, it's from Hollister. Did any of you all shop at Hollister in middle and high school? I did a little bit, but yeah, this is like early 2000s, and it still works. I don't know. I mean, it's tighter on me now. It's much smaller, obviously, when I was 14, but still a great shirt. So okay, so I'll go ahead and be reviewing Q, and then I'll just touch briefly on the two other Dolce & Gabbana fragrances that I own. Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Intense and the Dolce & Gabbana Shine. So I'll touch on those closer to the end of the video. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and spray Q. Alright, got a little fairy. Oh, what tree is this? I totally forget what tree has the seeds that look like that, but yeah, we definitely have those trees in the area I live. Maybe maple. I think that might be a maple tree. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and give this a spray. Just let it dry down. Oh, I forgot to say, I'm also wearing these little red heart earrings. I don't have any cherry earrings, but got these red heart earrings, and I put a little kind of reddish lip gloss on. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and give this a smell and let you know what I'm smelling. Okay, so I'm definitely getting cherry. It's a very fresh, it's a lighter, fresher, airier, more sheer type of cherry. It's not really so much like your heavy, gourmand, syrupy cherry. But you definitely do get cherry. You also get, it's like a little bit citrusy. I feel like that's part of what lightens it up. And it's also kind of musky. it's fairly light overall. It's really not a heavy fragrance. And there's like just a bit of woodiness as well. So that mainly what I get is like a fresh, slightly citrusy cherry, little bit of muskiness, a little bit of woodiness. That's mostly what I get coming through. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and read the main accords that we have. This is on fragrantica.com. Okay, so first we have citrus, powdery, musky, cherry, woody, sweet, white floral, and aromatic. So I would say that I definitely get the cherry accord as number 1. I don't know why they have it as listed as 4th, but to me it feels like number 1. But I will say that this is literally the only fragrance that I own that has cherry in it. I don't tend to go for cherry in fragrances, so probably because of that, I'm super like aware of the cherry, whereas maybe for other people, it's not as obvious. There's definitely a lot of citrus coming through in here, but because, like I said, I'm very attuned to cherry because I don't usually have it in any fragrances, it's very obvious to me, but I can see to somebody else, it might come through, the citrus might come through more. I'm definitely getting like the powdery musky accords that they mention. I'm getting the woody accord. It's sweet as well, but again, in a more of a fresh way, less of a gourmand way. So yeah, okay, let's go ahead and look at the notes next. I think the notes are pretty simple. Yeah, notes are pretty simple. So I'll start off with the top notes. So we've got 3 top notes. They are Sicilian lemon, blood orange, and jasmine. So I feel like I'm probably more so getting the lemon. It's a little hard to say, but I'm definitely getting citrus. I guess too, the blood orange is probably part of the like red theme for the bottle, you know, blood orange and cherry. So yeah, I'm definitely getting the lemon, the blood orange, I'm getting citrus. Jasmine, I can't really say I'm able to detect specifically. I think it's just more of a background note for me. Okay, and then next for our middle notes, we've got 2 middle notes. They are cherry and heliotrope. So I'm definitely picking up on the cherry. And then the heliotrope, that is a purple floral that has kind of a powdery, almondy type smell to my knowledge. I've never smelled heliotrope on its own or like a straight up heliotrope perfume, but from what I've read, it's like a powdery, almondy almost type smell. So I can see that going along with this. So I'm gonna say I think I'm picking up on the heliotrope vibe, but it's a little hard to say. And then lastly for our base notes, we've got 2 base notes, and they are musk and cedar, and I'm definitely getting both of those. It's definitely a musky fragrance, but with the citrus, I feel like it kind of cuts through, so it's bright but also musky and fluffy, if that makes sense. It's a nice balance. And then I'm definitely getting some cedar as well. I really like the addition of cedar in here. I feel like it grounds it and it kind of goes along with the muskiness as well. So yeah. So if I were to say the notes that I'm getting most, to me they are cherry, Sicilian lemon, musk, and cedar. That's probably what I would say. Let's look at what other users on Fragrantica say. They say they're mostly getting lemon, musk, Sicilian orange, cherry, cedar, heliotrope, then jasmine. So that's interesting. I think my hypothesis is correct that because I typically do not love cherry in fragrances, and this is literally the only cherry fragrance I have. I am super attuned to the cherry, whereas other people are picking up on the citrus more. But I have a lot of fragrances with citrus and like are fairly citrusy. So to me, my nose is more acclimated to that and doesn't stand out as much. So just a note that I pick up on a lot of cherry in this, but I think other people perhaps do not pick up on the cherry as much on average as I do. Yeah, so this fragrance, let's look at the reviews. I think last time I looked, yeah, it's not being rated super highly, so it's being rated 3.67 out of 5 with just around 1,000 votes. It's not actually that great of a vote, that great of a review overall. I would suspect that probably a lot of people want a cherry perfume to like really say cherry or to be a little bit sweeter, more gourmand. So I would suspect maybe some people felt a little bit let down by the fact that this one is lighter, airier, muskier, citrusy. But I really like it. That's why I have it in my collection, even though it's a cherry fragrance. So yeah, I really like this, but I don't think it's done super well in terms of its popularity, but I'm not sure. I'm just looking at Fragrantica, of course. By the way, it was launched in 2023, so definitely a new release. So before I read some reviews on this, let's go ahead and just briefly talk about my other Dolce & Gabbana fragrances. So firstly, this is Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Eau Intense, and I love this fragrance. This is definitely a very citrusy fragrance. It's got a lot of lemon coming through. It's very fresh. It also has a lot of musk coming through. So the main notes that I get with this are lemon and musk. There's also a Granny Smith apple, so like a tart, juicy green apple note coming through. So yeah, lemon, green apple, musk. That's mostly what I get. Very fresh, musky, clean, summer vibes, spring summer vibes. I just really love this so much. So like, I would say these have some in common. They're both musky and citrusy, but this one's definitely got more fruitiness to it than this one, I would say. This has the green apple, but it just doesn't come through the same way that the cherry does to me. Yeah, so there's just the original Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue. This is the intense version. The main thing I noticed different with this one is it has a lot more musk to it. And I think it lasts longer for that reason. So that's Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Eau Intense. And then secondly, this is a Dolce & Gabbana Dolce Shine from their Dolce line. This is the yellow bottle, yellow flower. I really like the bottle. I find the bottle very fun. And this is definitely a summertime, very fresh, airy, slightly tropical scent. What I like about this is it's very much a summertime tropical scent, but it does not have any sort of like sunscreen tanning lotion vibe to it. There's no coconut. There's not really even some of those other notes that sometimes make you think of like a tanning oil or sunscreen. So this has mango, quince, and grapefruit, so some fruity top notes. It's got some white florals, which definitely lighten it up, make it a bit floral and airy and heady. And then We've also got some notes that really like lighten and brighten it, which are ozonic notes and solar notes. So those are synthetic notes that are supposed to kind of evoke like the sunshine, the air. And then we've also got a sea salt note, which is subtle, but it does come through, kind of adds to that like crisp freshness. So that's mainly what I get from this one. Again, I feel like it's a really good summer one, but somewhat tropical, but not in like a coconutty type way. So I like this one. It does come across as a bit synthetic, I would say. Like, yeah, it doesn't necessarily smell the most natural, but I like it. So that is Dolce & Gabbana Dolce Shine. Okay, and then, yeah, let's go ahead and just wrap up by going over some other stats on Dolce & Gabbana Q, and then I'll read some reviews. So according to reviews on Fragrantica, this has decent longevity, slightly on the weaker side, but kind of right in the middle. I haven't worn this in a few months, but the last time I wore it, I do remember smelling it for at least 4 hours, if not probably a little longer than that, maybe 4 to 6 hours. The sillage is being rated as more intimate, so I can see that. It's a lighter, muskier, airier type of scent. It's not super bold. So yeah, more of a daytime vibe, really not so much a nighttime vibe. And then for gender, it's being rated as more feminine, but like not super feminine. I agree with that. Definitely leans feminine, but it's not like hyper femme. Yeah, it's kind of like girl next door type feminine. You know what I mean? Just kind of chill. And then for price value, people are saying that it's somewhat overpriced. I think, yeah, especially because this was released only this last year. It's probably hard to find cheap. So I did buy this on Mercari, and I got a deal on Mercari, but it was still like not cheap. So, and of course, try and find a sample, or just go to the department store and smell things at the department store before blind buying. But yeah. Okay, so let's see. Let's finish up with some reviews. Somebody says, I think this is absolutely chic. When I first smelled it in store, I could pick up on the cedar and citrus strongly, but couldn't really discern much cherry or floral until I read the notes. It does smell kind of masculine and punchy at times, and I get the detergent and aftershave comparison, haha, but it's really nice and refreshing. I'd call it unisex, though feminine leaning. Smells kind of 90s. Okay. Okay, somebody else says, I love this perfume. It could be similar to light blue, or I love love at first. So I love love is a fragrance by Moschino. But then it turns into a delicious cherry smell. The only thing I don't like much about the dry down is that it smells similar to BB and BB Her Blossom. I don't know what BB is. Burberry Brit? Maybe? So they're saying the dry down smells similar to BB and BB Her Blossom, Kayali, Eden Juicy Apple, Daisy Intense, etc. because of the musk, I think, on my skin. Okay, so I guess she's saying she doesn't really like the dry down. But yeah, okay. Okay, somebody else says cherry isn't as prominent as I wished it would be. If any, it's a bitter type of cherry, not sour nor sweet. It's a bit too sharp for my taste. Nothing remarkable. It's more like a cheap after shower cologne. Disappointed by D&G's latest release. Well, at least it's well, at least it's okay compared to the Horrendous Devotion. I haven't smelled Devotion by Dolce & Gabbana. I did see that at the airport though. But yeah, so that person's saying the cherry is a little bit like bitter. I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. Like, I get some sweetness for sure, but I think, especially compared to like a more sweet, syrupy, gourmand cherry, I could see why this would come across as bitter. To me, I wouldn't say bitter so much as sour. It's more of a sour, like tart cherry because of the citrus, I believe. That's my take on it, but that's what makes me like it more personally. Okay, let's go ahead and just read one last review. Somebody says this is overwhelmingly powdery. I thought I could make it work, but there's no way. I'm sure anyone who loves very sweet and powdery scents would love this. I couldn't pick up on any fruitiness, lemon or cherry undertones at all. Okay, interesting. So, yeah. So yeah, let me know if you have all smelled this. Let me know your thoughts. Like I said, it's the only cherry fragrance I have in my collection. So that's interesting. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed the review, and I will catch you all in another video soon. Okay, everybody, bye.